Or shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fire.
223, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers in grid Papa uniforms.
Welcome to the Resilient Warrior Nation, a podcast dedicated to inspiring hope and healing for first responders, military veterans, and anyone facing PTSD and trauma. All right, Bruce. So 9/11 obviously was a pivotal day in most of our lives. So what were you doing that day? How did you find out what was going on? And, did it have any deep changes in your life from that point on?
Yeah, it hit me pretty hard, man. I mean, multiple ways. I mean, I had just retired 4 months earlier, bro, as a sergeant major, right? So I'm sitting there, I drive into work, I look on TV, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, that was when the first plane hit the towers, right, early in the morning. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm all by myself in this office, right? And then I was like, what's going on, dude? And so, yeah, of course, everything's just watching the news. I'm horrified, right? I'm like, oh, my God. And then the people start, jumping. They start, all these, everything's just getting worse. And then the second plane hits. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I start getting emails because I have buddies that work at the Pentagon. I've only been retired 4 months. And they're like, Pac-Man, what's going on? I go, dude, what's wrong with you? They go, dude, we just got hit. We're at the Pentagon. We have no TV. Everything's out, man. What's going on? So I'm literally emailing. Somehow they had backup electricity, whatever. They had internet. I'm literally emailing my buddies at the Pentagon what I'm watching on the news, right? And I'm like, holy shit! And I'm crying, and then I just remembered is that I was I was still staying in touch with them because they were still there. I never went home. I got a sleeping bag and I slept on the floor that night, so I could keep talking to them. And then eventually they all got out. Everything was good, and I went home the next day. And then what happened next is I was the technical liaison to the JSOC, the Special Operations guys, Delta Force dudes, for this technical jamming program. We had these really fancy airplanes that they knew could jam cell phone signals and satellite phone signals. And we'd been training with them. So bigger than hell, man. 3 weeks later, we got the call, dude. We're taking off to go mess up a whole bunch of bad guys, and we demand your presence. And you don't say no to Delta, right?
Okay.
So we got orders from the Pentagon, and because I was the only military dude there that had done what's a deployment thing, I had to ship everything, both planes and all this truckload of classified gear to Oman because we shared airplanes with the AWACS, the engines. We shared engines. We needed repairmen. And then I flew every mission that if Delta was in the air during the first 6 months. So I was there for about the first 90 days. I stayed there 6 months, but for the first 90 days until things kind of rolled over to 5th Special Forces Group and the CIA, every time they were in the air, bro, we were in the air just jamming those things. I'm eating ramen. Like, this is I'm at war with the Air Force. First things up are the air-conditioned crappers in the beer tent. I'm eating ramen at 38,000 feet. Just listen to these guys deal death, man. Jumping out of halo jumpers away. It was, dude, it was awesome, man. But, yeah, I was horrified, bro. And we wanted revenge so bad, man. It was all of us, man. I tried to get back in the Army, and they told me they had enough sergeant majors, and I threatened to punch out a colonel and lose some rank. But, yeah, it was
shockingly
a very
didn't work,
traumatic day, man. I hope we never forget it, bro. I go to every time I'm in New York, I go to those towers, and a lot of people don't know it, but the horse soldier statue, which I have a replica here, is if you look at the two towers up to the right, that big brass ball that was at the base of the Twin Towers, they recovered what's left of that, and the horse soldier statue's been moved up there. So if you want to, a lot of people don't know it's up there, and that's that bronze statue is a true testimony to those 5th Group guys that went in with the CIA. I mean, honestly, we should have never had that war. We owned them in 90 days. All we had to do is keep some Spec Ops guys there and keep plastering every time they raised their hell. But no, somebody decided we had to have a goddamn war, and we lost a lot of good kids. But anyways, my humble opinion, but that's what happened that day for me, bro.
All right, yeah. I'll never forget that day the rest of my life. It was tragedy all around, man.
Were you in New York City when that hit? I mean, the accent.
Ironically, my ex-wife and I were flying back from New York that night, and there were bad thunderstorms. So we were delayed from about 8 o'clock. I think we flew out at 12, something like that. We got back to Atlanta and home probably like 3:30, and I woke up the next morning to my phone just ringing over and over. So I got up, picked it up, It was my father telling me to turn the TV on. And again, ironically, my father was actually FDNY until 1996. So he was at the first bombing of the World Trade Center. He used to drive the chief of the fire department. And had he still been active, he would have been down there. He would have perished too, because Ray Downey, who was the then fire chief who perished, would have been driven by my dad. So he would have been right next to him. And it's a crazy story. Actually, his son, Ray Downey, yeah, they were. Yeah. I played ice hockey at Hofstra with Ray Downey Jr., his son. So it's just a small world. But, yeah, I remember I had such survivor's guilt for the longest time. And I wanted to join the military, but I think I was like 33 at the time. So there was, nothing I could do at that point. But,
I hear you, though. I mean, I had retired, man. I was like, God dang it.
Yep.
Oh, dude, if I would have been a sergeant major then, oh, good Lord, it would have been so much fun.
It.
But, God had different plans for both of us, man. So
we're all where we are always where we're supposed to be.
No coincidence,
man. So no exactly.
Yeah.
So
good stuff, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for your perspective on that, and thanks again for everything.